or the testimony, right? And so what is the success and the setbacks that are involved with being an entrepreneur? And let's be honest, what are some of the failures? So we're going to be raw and real. We're going to bring that to you in a weekly LinkedIn audio event. And we'd love for you to be our guest. And you know what? We would love for you to share that. So come and join us. Let us hear and let's share some nuggets with you in the Success and Setback LinkedIn audio series.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you? Good morning. Are you introducing Mr. Matt?
Yes, very soon. I want us to just make sure our sound is good.
Perfect.
And everything is good. The video, sound. Let's make sure everything is good. Okay. Awesome. How are you doing this morning, Lena?
Woo! Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm trying to set up my camera to be good in a good position. Let's see.
Okay. Just
a little bit here. Okay, we're good now. All right. Awesome. We have a great guest today with us. Matt actually has a lot packed. Oh my goodness. We had a very great conversation earlier this week. Actually, today's Wednesday. Yeah, we had it this week. Yeah, it was a great conversation. Was it this week or last week? My days are rolling into each other right now. We just started the year and it looks like a lot has happened in a short time. I don't know if that's how it feels for you too, Lena.
Yes. It does. I'm like it's a new year. I already feel like we're halfway through.
Wow. So Matt is going to be joining us today. And he's going to be talking about the transformational trends that are going on in technology and how people should keep up with that. And he's actually the CEO and founder for Fifth Advantage. And his bio is like a long bio. I'm not going to go through that right now. As we delve in, asking those questions, you'll get to know a little bit more about him. And we'll get to hear the thoughts and the wealth of experience he has gathered over the years. So stay tuned as he comes on right now. So I'm going to bring Matt up.
Awesome. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, for some reason, the tool doesn't pick up my mic.
Oh, okay.
It seems to be going off, my local Mac, but if it's coming across clearly, I'm fine.
Okay, we can hear you.
Technology problems.
Exactly. Who let that one out the door?
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness, Matt, it's so good. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us. Last year when we started the conversation on chat in LinkedIn, and I saw your profile, I was like, my goodness, I need to have him on the show.
Thank you.
So I'm so glad you said yes, and you're joining us to actually share your wealth of experience. But there's something we love to do on this show. We love you to pull back the curtain and share the good, the bad, the ugly. But before we go into that, I just want you to just give a quick intro about yourself.
Yeah, hi. I'm the CEO of Fifth Advantage, and we help our clients digitally transform by helping them pick the right emerging technologies to empower their teams, delight their customers, and grow sustainably.
That's awesome.
So, my team and I like to position us as like the Avengers of digital transformation. We have I believe the most incredible background and rounded individuals of senior leaders assembled to do something like this. Yeah. I've been in technology for 30 years. And had the privilege and honor to work with some of the best and brightest minds and leaders in the industry, and created several products from the ground up myself, starting with 2 developers, and such as Microsoft SQL Server Enterprise, which went on to make billions, a voice product from Microsoft that went on to become Cortana and Windows. I was one of the founders of Amazon Web Services and created the database division, which is now the moneymaker there and powers most of the internet, and things of that nature. I've always been attracted to the bleeding edge of technology and how it can just work wonders for us as a species. And through that, I've had successes and I've had failures, which fueled my passion to go do more.
Awesome.
And so but based on people that I had mentors that made a huge difference for me personally and professionally.
Awesome.
And so now at this stage of my life, it's about giving back. And I, take tremendous joy in working with our clients and helping them achieve their success and more. I constantly write. I write for Newsweek and Fast Company magazines on digital transformation and trends, and I frequently post on LinkedIn. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to help people. Here's something that's really relevant today. Here's how you should think about it and how you may approach integrating it into your business. Awesome. And so, that's it in a nutshell. I have 2 teenagers. They don't come with owner's manuals. My wife and I are trying to, we're just enjoying this journey. We spend a lot of family time. We like to go to the beach. As a hobby, I make barbecue, and I'm a car enthusiast. So that's it. Other than my shoe size, I think I gave you everything.
I love it. And for those who do not know us, and this is the first time you're jumping on this broadcast, my name is Adisha Omole, and I have my partner here, Lena Mendoza, and we host the Success and Setbacks. We're business strategists and we coach as well. We offer technology approach for clients and executive coaching. Lena is executive coaching. She does that so well. So we're going to go to the first question for today. Tell us a moment when you faced a significant challenge or setback in your life.
Just one, really?
Just one. Pick one.
I would think Matt, how lighthearted he is. He's probably been through a few, so we can't wait to hear it.
Right? Yes, I would be lying to you if I didn't say so. So to answer your question, I took over when I was building that voice product. The background, it's a serious background, so I need to set the table for you. I like to give people mental models, and then it really clicks. So it was Bill's pet project, Bill Gates. And it was a combination of researchers and an acquisition that was kind of floundering. We had to partner with Intel at the time, and that was post when the Department of Justice kind of came down pretty hard on Microsoft. And Intel testified, and the companies we weren't getting along. And so part of it was to figure out how to build this product, get some teams that weren't working together, and by the way, repair the relationship with Intel and kind of show how the 2 companies could work together. So this is a significant challenge. And so part of what I recognized after a little bit, I walked in and kind of observed the team, and I'm like, got to rebuild. So, I focused on let's get the product defined. And then, I started focused on who's a fit for the culture and what we're trying to build, and who are the people that we either need to put in another seat or help them go somewhere else. And so it was around transforming the organization at first, right? There was an article I read, back in the 90s, organizations, and it really holds true. Organizations go from storming, forming, norming to performing. That's the 4 stages. This was a hurricane. So, we really kind of went in and I told them, I said, look, this is what we're trying to do and what the company needs from us. It's not emotion. It's not this. We're going to get down to business. And by the way, if you want to continue, we're going to teach you skills that are applicable, whether you work for me or you go somewhere else. And went to work and did all those things, reorganized the team. I brought in people from other parts of the company who were experts at, building this different types of thing. And, along the way, we went through those 4 stages. And then, a year into it, we have one of the lowest morales in Microsoft. Companies measure all that kind of stuff. A year later, we had one of the top 3 in the entire company morale. And we set industry benchmarks and for what we produced. And like I said, it ultimately went on to do big stuff.
Yeah.
The challenge with Intel as a partner, I looked across with my partner, who's the VP of engineering, with myself, and the people above us were at war. And I looked at him and I said, look, here's the deal. I'm going to be the best wingman you've ever had. I'm going to give you all the credit for everything we do. Here's my home number. Here's my cell phone number. If my team or I don't keep up with what we want to do, I want you to call me 24/7. But make no mistake, you and I are going to win, and you're going to get the credit. And along the way, we're going to repair this relationship. And we went back and forth, and he's like, hey, how are we going to solve these execs that are above us are at war? And I'm like, ignore them.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? You and I are leading the teams who are actually doing the work.
Yeah.
So if the people doing the work say something's got to get done and they have any level of rationality, they're going to listen.
Yeah.
So let's do it. And I'm friends with that person to this day.
Wow.
He leads research for the living edge of Carnegie Mellon.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
University, and it was an awesome success.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Hopefully that wasn't too much.
That's interesting. One of the things that caught my attention when you were talking is the 24/7. So how do you keep a work-life balance?
Yeah, you've been talking to my wife. When I was in my early stage, I let's use school grades. A is you've got it working well, and F is, hey, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I'd say in my early stages, I was a D-. I was all about let's get stuff done. I want to learn. I want to build my career. I want to add value. And then over time, like I said, I now have teenagers, but back then, they were born. And, my wife and I would set up a program where I would work whatever hours, and then I'd come home and I'd literally lock my phone in a drawer. And then on the weekends, it was dad and son's day. So I would take them out and we'd go, have cups of coffee or ride the monorail, or just to give my wife some separation. And why it's important that you have kind of the methodology of how you are going to work this journey.
Right.
And once you're aligned on that, then you start to plug in, where does work come in and where does dad and husband come in? Yeah. And, over time, I rose from a D-. I'd give myself a solid B+ now.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It's better. I'm a hard grader. That's kind of where it is.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Today we're going to be talking about staying ahead with digital transformation. And how do you handle the dynamic changes that happen so fast when it comes to technology? The stress, keeping up, because I think it's a lot of work. I'm in technology, and I know it's like you have to always be out there educating and learning. You think you just learned something and then something new comes out. How do you keep up with all these trends?
Okay. Well, first, that's why I write the stuff I write to kind of help. But set the technology aside. What are you trying to transform? Mm-hmm. So just look back from there. My recommendation is work backwards from your customer. How do they interact with your application or technology? How do they interact with the rest of your brand? Email, customer support, how you handle all that, and then work backwards from your employees and how they support the mission to fulfill what the customer needs, and then start working through how do we make that more efficient? How do we make that more simple, easy, frictionless, and reliable? People are loyal to brands who, deliver and make it personal and make it simple. And then, start come up with your vision. The reason digital transformations fail is like 70% fail, by the way, they come up with a grandiose vision, but the people aren't aligned on what's got to get done. Notice I haven't talked about tech yet.
Yeah.
And so we're not aligned on the goals. We're not aligned how it's done. We don't really communicate very well up and down the organization to get buy-in. And, often we start with, I got to use technology X. So it's like technology looking for a problem. Like I said, invert your focus. Now let's start working through what adds that value to my customers, what adds that value to my employees to service the customers and build. And let's go look for the best technologies that help us automate, create efficiencies, help us scale. And, look, another big thing is I'm painting a big thing, right? It's a big elephant. Don't try to eat the elephant whole.
Right.
Right? So bite it off into small chunks and move very, very quickly. That's where speed and agility comes in.
Yeah.
Right? So I deliver with speed. Deliver your first few things within 2 months. You get to 3 months, people get antsy. 2 months, hey, I can do it. Learn, adapt, and move forward. And keep doing those as a sequence of deliveries to fulfill your transformation. Along the way, you'll get more confident. You'll get more competent. You'll really learn what's going on. And, you'll want to do more. And then it becomes a system of big and small changes into response to market changes, your customers' needs, and how you go build just great stuff. So that's a long kind of summary, but again, paint the picture. Like, don't look at technology looking for a problem. Let's start with what you need to do and go find the ones that work for you.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Matt, this is so refreshing. I mean, I read that, your Newsweek article that you just posted at the beginning of the year. And I will tell you what, I'm going to be honest, I'm refreshing to hear you talk about family, like, hey, you're very lighthearted. You're like, it's no problem. We've got it. And so team orient, you have a strong pulse on people. That's not often the case, right? Especially when it comes, and let's be honest, when it comes to necessarily technology or engineering, necessarily also people. So that means you have a great balance. And so I'm impressed. But that article, I could barely get through that article but it was also very into what I'm talking about is like the AI and the quantum physics. And then really forecasting what's happening for 2024. And so
the top trends to think about right now article.
Yes. And so, so I'd love to hear a little bit about that and how, maybe one of your top accomplishments in the last 30 years, if you can share that.
Okay. You asked multiple parts. Where would you like me to put the shovel and start digging?
Yeah. So I would love to hear a little bit more about like that forecast, because I felt like encouraged about what's ahead, about AI, generative AI, and then how everything is going to kind of not collide, but actually go the course, and that we're going to embrace it more. And so, I felt like not only inspired by your article, but, I'm like, everything's going to align. We kind of just went through our bumps and our grooves this year, but this year is going to be very different and in a more positive way.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That context helps. Okay. Look, so my methodology is I talk to a lot of people. I'm also a public speaker, and I do give keynotes on trends about AI for business leaders and how to really do it. And then also a keynote about how I kind of learned my way to innovate big stuff through Amazon. And I talked to a lot of customers and clients, and I kind of learn. I also talk to a lot of venture capitalists, private equity firms, and that's a whole nother thing.
Awesome.
And so, what the goal is to set the table. We're now in the fourth stage of the industrial revolution. AI and the emerging digital technologies that we are now experiencing give us more power than we could ever fathom. And AI is going to help us increase productivity, make employees more efficient, and be able to create more experiences than we've ever done before. Like I said, people think about tech stacks when they say this. Oh, my tech stack. Nope. let me give you an example. Hey, how many companies out there have an army of people building spreadsheets to model the business and how the money flows and where it's going? And it's really tedious. And oh, by the way, they really learn this stuff, the values, because they're in there in the data. What happens if you automated that through machine learning? And oh, by the way, it produces the results in an hour and gives you insights because it's really, really good at scanning lots of data that you didn't see before. Mm-hmm. Now, the people that are doing that can actually adapt and adjust to what they're seeing. What kind of impact does that mean and apply to your ability to respond to customer demands, how you focus, what you're going to invest in moving forward for the business? You know, that's kind of an example. Like AI is going to touch HR. It's going to touch accounting. It's going to touch finance. It's going to touch marketing. And again, you know, the principle, work back from your audience and start looking at what you're trying to do and look at these technologies to apply them. Make sense?
Yes.
And so
absolutely.
What I tried to do is, you know, depend on where you are and what you're going to do and how you're going to service your customers. Here's some things to think about right now to start building towards. And so, great, we're in the fourth industrial revolution. Well, what's happening in 2024? And 24 is the birth of the immersive internet. You know, we all worked at home during the pandemic. Now we want things 24/7 by 365. We want it personalized.
Yeah, I know. Right? Now and personalized.
All our interactions personalized. And oh, by the way, I kind of want insights. Like, think about a budgeting app. You know, you set a budget with your family. And hey, by the way, Matt, based on your spend, you need to lay off the Gucci because you're going to blow the budget this month. And these are the types of insights you're going to be able to pull in by the confluence of different data sources and AI that you have.
Yeah.
Then there's the whole blending of the virtual and physical world. You know, a lot of people think, you know, my teenagers walk around with those Oculus things. And so, hey, you know, and they just love it. They're addicted, right? So what's the cool part? You know, from a consumer experience, we're taking more and more of our personal daily lives and pulling it into the virtual world. My kids watch games and, you know, there's some really interesting things. Now there's concerts and games. And guess what? That's all virtual. And oh, by the way, I really like that artist. I'm going to buy his t-shirt. Or I start thinking about, look, I'm modeling a manufacturing of a big industrial piece of equipment. Now, let me throw real-time data from sensors I've deployed to it and start modeling when do parts break, how does it get tuned, etc. Right? We're immersing ourselves with data from the physical world to the virtual world. You know, so it kind of, there's layers there, but you start to see how society, how the way we work, and how the way we integrate data and automate are going to take us to that next stage of transformation. Does that help?
It does help. I mean, it's fascinating because, you know, I think people were very fearful this year, right? And there are, you know, not only, you know, just different things of, as anything changes, anytime there's a change, it's like, what's going to happen? They're going to get me. It's the devil. I'm like, AI is not the devil. So it's going to be okay.
Hang on. I want to add some color on that if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, there's bad people. They're going to do bad stuff.
All the time.
Right? Yes. There just is. Yep. Unfortunately, you can make a lot of money doing that. We've always had that problem.
Right.
So are they going to come up with new ways to do bad stuff? Yep. Do you have to build a better security posture to accommodate for that? Yep. Was it any different? Nope. The next part is, hey, look, nothing gets you over your fear than by doing. You want to get over your fear? Get hands-on.
Yeah.
Start to build things. Remember the transformation story I told you.
Yeah.
Build something. Build a tool. People think innovation is this cool stuff. There's business innovation. There's process innovation inside of a company. Use the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the stuff causes 80% of the effort. Great. Inside your business, pick off one of those, the 20%, and automate it.
Yeah.
Build tools. Figure out how to make your employees more productive, the business more productive, and start iterating in 2-month chunks. Along the way, you're going to figure out like, hey, this is how it works. And oh, by the way, with that thing, I can now go focus on this, or it makes me better at that. And that is what's going to happen. AI and these technologies are going to handle the tedious and the mundane.
Yeah.
And all of us are going to evolve into a new level of creativity and ingenuity.
Yeah.
So the way
awesome.
to get over the fear is get hands-on and just do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if I could ask, so with that, I mean, you're a wealth of knowledge. You have, been at the cutting edge of technology, well balanced, professional, dad, husband. So what is your most top, so the second question to that, what I was asking was like, what is like something you would say is a defining accomplishment or something that really holds that you're like, I did this very well?
I don't like to crow about myself. Sorry, it's a flaw. I think when I found out what my superpowers were, we all have them, right? And so once I figured out what I was good at and what I could become world class at, and then, what are the things that I need to do to surround myself with people who complement what I have and do great things there, along the way, that enabled me to kind of scale as a leader, scale as a technologist, and focus on the things that I could make the most impact for my people and my company and my team. And yep, I'm a big advocate of mentors. I'd say go build your own board of personal advisors. And one of my mentors is like, smack me around. Hey, dum-dum, you need to go figure this out. And once I did, then, I started innovating better. I became a better leader, and created some of the most heavily used software on the planet. And it was that confidence in those things. Does that help?
It does. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a moment where in your career, where you had to make a tough decision that challenged your values?
Ooh, I'm a very value-driven person, right? And I actually won't do something or I'll react, with organ rejection if I face something that's against my values. And so, I went to this company, let's call it X, because I just don't want to,
Is it X? That's Twitter.
No, X is my surrogate, right? My avatar for that brand. And so I went to work with the company, and they were from another country, and the way they do business was not the way that I was used to in America. They dug dirt on each other to kind of one up each other, and they kind of
we do that in America.
No, this went on steroids.
On
and then they didn't really care about laws they broke or things that they were going to do. And so and they had lied to me about what the problems they were going to want me to solve as, CXO. And so I started to plan my exit. And so, because I just can't, look, the Swiss Army knife doesn't exist. How many one-man bands do you see on the top 40? 0.
Right.
So you can't change what people aren't willing to do.
That's right.
And so I promised the investors, I'm like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to put points on the board, but we're going to have to sell these things because the people that are there will never change. And by the way, here's your risks. So I went about doing that. And, at some point, X months later, I kind of exited. So I made sure that I added value and set it on the right track. And that was a hard decision because back then the economy was kind of not the greatest. But I was like, hey, I have faith in myself.
Good for
I have
you.
an awesome life partner that supports me. So I'm just going to go exit and move on. Does that help?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that definitely. Yeah. So with Fifth Advantage, which is your no Fifth Vantage,
Yep.
which is your company, you're the CEO, the founder. Could you tell us how you've talked about your own personal values, but how have you been able to promote that value within your company and also foster growth and collaboration with other entities as well?
Whew. Also, multi-leg answer. You guys are in the so okay. When I go to recruit my team, I look with people that are about values. From like, okay, we're really good at what we do, but we're really friendly. We're really humble, and we're just there to help
Awesome.
our clients succeed. When you kind of look at the bona fides of people, it can be intimidating. Like, so when we go look with clients, we apply those values and say, hey, we're not here to replace you. We're not here to make you look bad. Actually, we're here to be the best wing person you've ever had.
Mhm.
And we're going to help you go in and achieve things and help you succeed. And then we're going to leave. And so, I recruit people who have that mentality. And what do I give to them? Look, I told you I've got teenagers, and I've got to do stuff, and I'm like, hey, you know what? You want to go for 3 weeks and go to vacation? Have a great time. Send me a postcard. You need to have time to go work on the house. That's great. We got you. Other people can kind of pick this stuff up. And oh, by the way, you know what? You may not like doing services and being a servant. I'm okay with that, but you're going to get in touch with companies you may click with and you want to go. We're going to equip you like we're on the bleeding edge of technology. You're going to see the trends that work. And you know what? I'm okay, right? Go ahead and jump in. And if that's what makes you happy, go. And that sounds crazy. Guess what? They become your customer, right? So that's, some of the tactics where I struggle. Hey, I'm a geek. You can figure that out. So like, marketing, sales, I'm getting better, right? It's about creating value and things. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I just want to help. Here's 3 things. By the way, you give those things and they kind of want to go off and do it themselves. So, oversharing and trying to solve problems when you really don't know their business enough. You'll see it. You're experienced enough. You'll see the forest from the trees and know where to go.
Yeah.
But you have to take them along the journey. And so, again, I gave you a lot of information. I'm caffeinated, but what I tell you really works.
Oh my! I love that, Matt. You're so humble. Like I was expecting, I guess, a very scientific response, but I know Addie. Addie's a very warm, kind person, very intelligent as you are, and so this is very refreshing to hear how you're very funny.
I'm going to tell my wife that.
Oh, no.
Look, there's a really great book that I
Okay.
think everybody should read.
Okay.
It's called Alter Ego.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's look at Beyonce. She's one of the case studies in there, right? An amazing artist,
Yeah.
world renowned. She has fear of crowds. So what she's developed is here's how I am as a person, but when I'm on stage, I'm Y person and I'm going to be electric and I'm going to go do these things, right? So I kind of, look, my persona at this stage, my kids are dyslexic and dysgraphic, and it's hard. So many people along the way helped me and my wife,
Yeah.
and I've never forgotten it. And that's the human side of it, right? So, what's my alter ego? Yep, I'm super technical and I see stuff people don't see, and I know how to go do that.
Yeah.
But in the way of giving back and adding value, I'm kind of the translator that takes all that stuff and helps you succeed and does it in a way that you can digest it and understand it. And I'm not going to beat you over the head. I'm going to take you along the journey and make you feel comfortable doing it. And that's kind of my alter ego.
That's
And
awesome.
so I hope that kind of helps.
That's awesome, awesome. So usually we're gonna take it's a new thing we're doing now. We'll take a quick break, and this break actually is you're still here with us. Not like you're disappearing. A quick break. We just want to talk about Cobbletree a little bit, and then we'll come back with I think right now we're at 10:36. We're gonna ask for questions if the audience have any questions for you, and we'll answer those questions. So I want Lena to just talk about Cobbletree a little bit, and then I'll add on top of it, and then we'll come back to the interview.
Absolutely. So Cobbletree is an entrepreneur ecosystem and it's really a support system for entrepreneurs to come in, business leaders, to ask questions, to get coached, to also to have resources and really focus on two areas that most businesses focus on as resources and results, or results and revenue. And so, and I think coming out of COVID, I think some businesses aren't necessarily knowing where to go, how to ask for help, where those expert people are. And then, also accountability, right? And so who is helping them along the way? And this is where they're able to tap into the ecosystem to do that. And so in a community environment. So as you said, Matt, I mean, it says something so for us, it's very personal because we want to help build entrepreneurs to the levels they want to be and in a personalized way, because people they want something more like to have, there's this virtual, but they still want to have that personal connection. And so that's where we come in the difference. And so for us, I know what is standing out from the rest is that we are faith-based, and then we pray, and that we also believe that strengthening that spiritual intelligence and that faith is what will really help catapult them to new levels. So we're really excited to help our new entrepreneurs grow this year, really set the stage, and then really continue to be what we call kingdom builders, but leaders and mentors for others to continue to show that character and those values that we really hold close to our heart.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look, I have a soft spot for entrepreneurs. I grew up, we never talked about that, but I kind of grew up in, humble beginnings. I wasn't supposed to land where I landed. And the sad part is this current generation is the first generation in 100 years is projected to not be as prosperous as their parents. That's really true. And so what's the one way you could build generational wealth? One of the ways is being an entrepreneur.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so worldwide, we're having a shortage. You think here, now look at Europe, like Austria, they can't incubate entrepreneurs. People are scared. It takes a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. And I love what you're doing, which is kind of get on and help people take that leap and be successful. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that encouragement. We just started recently, like last 3 months, and we started off with this success and setbacks as the broadcast. So actually just pull back the curtain so that people can really see the good, the bad, the ugly of entrepreneurship. In 2020, a lot of people jumped on entrepreneurship. I'm starting a business, a small business, and a number of them have closed down. And I believe the reason is because, one, they didn't know what it entailed. Two, they didn't have accountability. They didn't have the resources. They didn't have the experience. They thought it was going to be easier, and we know it's not easier. They don't know you're going to have to do 24/7 like Matt. I'm available anytime. So doing this series actually help educate our audience. Some people are already seasoned and they can learn from maybe like technology implementation. Like, for instance, we brought you on. I know that's something that's so essential in this time.
Yes.
If anyone is listening right now, you have not adopted AI, you have not really learned about AI, you're not looking in that direction, I'll say jump on it right now. And Matt is available.
Matt's like yes.
He's having an event very soon, actually, in Austin. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm participating in the UN's World Logic Day.
That's awesome.
So UN and UNESCO is investing worldwide to help people understand logic and how to apply that in business and their daily lives. What's a core part of logic? What's AI, right? AI looks at data and helps you intuit and take steps to do something about it. So on the 21st, it's the United Nations is sponsoring this happening on the day in 32 different locations in the world.
Wow.
Awesome.
And so I was asked to kind of help here in Austin for the United States piece.
That's awesome.
So
That's
we're
a
gonna
big
do,
deal.
yeah, that is huge. That's huge.
Who knew, right?
Matt says it like, oh, I'm just going to do this little conference. I'm like, oh, that's United Nations. That's kind of a big deal.
So I'm going to look through the comments real quick to see if there's anyone that has any questions for our guest speaker, Matt. We also have the opportunity for you to jump on the live on the video to ask the question. So we've posted the link is actually scrolling at the bottom of the screen, stream.cobbletree.com. And I also posted it in the comments. So I'll just look through the comment real quick and see if there's any questions. Any questions on LinkedIn? We're actually broadcasting to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube right now. So we're trying to check everything to make sure we're okay. Looks like they don't have any questions for you. You're a good teacher.
I would say something. I kind of joke around. I'm like, look, if you can't dazzle them with details, baffle them with bullshit, maybe it's the latter.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. It's so good to have you on our show. We want the audience to know that if you need anything in AI, when I went to your website, let me say this also. When I went to your website, just like you said, you're a tech geek. Everything is covered. Like, I was like, what is it that he doesn't do? Like, everything is covered. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, like I said, all those things are the core part of digital transformation, right? And so, like I said, I'm starting this branding of assembling a team like we're the Avengers of digital transformation. And so we can kind of help you with the things that we do to kind of integrate those technologies successfully in your business.
Awesome.
I kind of use the tagline, why did I name the company Fifth Vantage? Right? It's an abstract way of saying 5-star advantage. Our expertise that you leverage becomes your advantage.
That is so nice. Nice. Okay, I think there's no more questions at this moment. We're going to be wrapping up right now. Except, Lena, do you have anything for Matt? And we'll wrap up.
So Agnes on LinkedIn, she says she can't type it into the link. She's on your LinkedIn page, and so she said good morning, and then she said I have a question, but I cannot post it in the link. So I said, can you type it here? So let's see what she says.
I don't see it. Let me see. I'm checking again. Let me refresh the page.
Agnes Chukwu.
Let's refresh the page.
A question for our United Nations representative.
So they can type it in and okay, I see Agnes here.
Okay.
But I can't post.
That's right.
Let me see. So
I'm wondering how much caffeine did you have, Matt?
I lived in Seattle for all that time, so when I get up in the morning, I have a coffee IV.
Oh, yeah. They're the headquarters. So.
Hey, I'd like to, are we still live?
Yes, we're still live.
Yep. Hey, like you can tell I'm, somewhat of a friendly guy. So like connect with me. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and my team and I will respond. Or you can drop me an email at matt.domo@fifthvantage.com. But you all talked about digital transformation. So I'd like to give people a free gift.
Oh,
if
awesome.
you text 55444 digital, I will send you a paper about the 7 different things you have to do to avoid failure when you do a digital transformation.
That's
and
awesome.
All that's free.
Could you give that again? 555?
If you text 55444, so 2 5s, 3 4s, with the word digital, I will send you a white paper blueprint about the 7 things you need to do to avoid failure with the digital transformation.
Beautiful.
Completely free.
Awesome.
Okay. I hope I got that number right. 55444.
And the word digital.
Digital.
Yeah. So 55.
And the word digital.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Digital. So they have to type in digital to. Oh boy, I messed it up.
Well, the address, the 2 is 55444, and hit return on your phone. And then the text body should be the word digital.
There you go.
Okay.
Hopefully that works. Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt, for joining us on this broadcast. It's been really awesome having you here. And we look forward to collaborating with you later with our ecosystem that we're developing for the entrepreneurs. We're looking for mentors to actually be part of our mentor network that can actually connect with other entrepreneurs that need help in one way or the other. So this is really awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. I was honored and flattered you had me on the show. And, I'm glad that you and, your audience, received something of value from it.
Of course we did. I'm like,
Awesome. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. Have a great day.
Hey, you too. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So, Lena, we have a workshop, a masterclass coming up soon.
We do.
We're going to talk about that right now. You want to just brief on SAAS?
Absolutely. So I'm so excited. So this is a new year. So happy new year. If we haven't seen you in person yet, if we haven't talked to you yet, we want to tell you from Cobble Tree, happy new year. It is going to be an amazing year. You got to believe it. You got to believe in your heart and your mind. Why do we say that? Because some people came, what I call hopping along out of the 2023, and they might show you on social media that they're doing okay. But if you have a personal conversation, you're going to hear some of the pain points and some of the struggles that they had. So here's where we want to partner with you to come to our Soar to Success workshop and really work through. It's actually a hands-on workshop where we're working through. So as SOAR stands for, so you might be used to SWOT, right? So a SWOT analysis where strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and I think it's task, everything the word, but it's SOAR. So it's really looking also at your aspirations, strength, opportunity, aspirations, and then results. And so really being more positive, really, we know what our pain points are, but we don't want to necessarily dive into the drama first, right? We want to drive into destiny. We want to drive into where we're soaring, where we're flying to next, and then really staying focused on that. And really, this is where you're going to see your brain hyper drive to destiny. And the reason why is because you are not putting blinders on or blocks to not see. In order to have vision, you must see, you must pray. We're going to tell you to pray. We're going to tell you to strengthen that spiritual lens and strengthen your spiritual intelligence and have the utmost faith for what's ahead. And so this is where you get a very synergistic presentation. And why do I say that? Addie is a powerhouse when it comes to technology and integration and generative AI. I come in with the executive coaching, the business strategy, and then looking at some collaborative partnership. And so you get the best of both worlds. And then you also, later as you join Cobble Tree, you also get connected with other coaches as well as the community. And it really hyper drives, because what we found is that people are I'm a solo entrepreneur, or I have a small team. I'm not out. I'm not networking. Well, what if you just come into a virtual space, and then we also have live events as well, and then you're able to connect with people. And so Soar to Success is a workshop you want to be at. It's $97. It's a very small investment, but it's an intentional investment because it's really going to help you work through what you're actually going through and setting you up for the year. And so we'll have multiple master classes. You do not want to miss this. The price will go up. So you want to get in on, adopt it early, get in on that, register. And so you're like, well, I saw that, but I wasn't sure. Don't be not sure. This is the year to be very certain of your success. So I have already identified my tagline for this year is saying yes to success in 2024, but it must come from you to say yes first. And so we are very confident about what's ahead. We're not like, well, we're not sure. We're kind of scared. And it's like, don't be scared. Get in the boat. We're leaving. So
Yeah.
That's what Cobble stands for. Cobble is a small boat. And so we are setting sail. We are not staying ashore. So the tree is for protection, right? Let's go.
Yeah. So just to add on that, I know Lena tries to be humble, and this lady works with corporate companies, executives, and what we're bringing to entrepreneurs, we're bringing that to the entrepreneurs at a very ridiculous rate. Okay, I'm as well. I've worked with projects that people don't know about. I don't want to talk about numbers now. I don't like talking about numbers, but I've worked with big companies, give them strategic plans, and they've implemented it, and it has worked. And they've gotten 10x, 20x, whatever. I have a company actually recently that contacted me after about 10 years. They said what I implemented for them, they're still using it till today. I need to come in right now to help them scale up and grow, and we're bringing this to the Tree at an affordable rate so that you can enjoy this wealth of experience. One of the desire I have really is that I don't want my treasures to die with me. Okay, let me say that again. I don't want the treasures that is inside of me to die with me. You know how to say in the grave there's so many treasures. So this is why we're doing this. We're trying to share this wealth of experience, knowledge, and work with you. I can tell you, if you spend 30 minutes with me, whatever the challenges in your business, I can give you clarity and strategy within 30 minutes. So can you imagine now combining with Lena? Oh my goodness, we're going to bring in so much. This masterclass is packed with a lot of wealth of knowledge, experience, strategies that work. So you don't want to miss it. So it's just $97 right now, but it's going to rise up back to $199. So you want to register on time, just register today. Register today so you can get that $97. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome that it's very important that you're saying that, Addie, because, and you say 10x, and we have, a trademark program that talks about 100x, right? And so,
yeah. Oh, I didn't want to tell them about that yet.
Sorry.
That's later.
And I think sometimes you have to put some numbers to it because, and not even sometimes, I think people need to know because they know how to count, right? And so I'm a numbers person, that, I'm results driven, and who we work with are results driven too, because in business, it is about creating revenue. It is about increasing your profit margins. We don't want to hustle and do hard work. And so why not ask experts and ask us like, well, what can I do? So yesterday, just even in 2 consults, have you considered creating this, providing this information in this platform that you don't have to keep recreating it, because you can't be everywhere, right? And that platform in itself should create over 6 figures just by itself.
Yeah.
And I mean, you would have never like, I didn't know that, Lena. Well, now I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So imagine, right? So and so when we're pulling in these experts, but also from our expertise, you're hearing things that you have never heard before. There's some people who still don't use Zoom, and that's okay. But what are the tools that are going to hyper drive you to the results you're looking for? So in 2024, this is what it's about. So register. You see that cobbletree.ticketbud.com. Sort of Success Masterclass for Business Excellence. So this is register here. You're like, I'm not sure what it is. We're telling you what it is. It is going through like where you're really good at, your strengths, your opportunities, your aspirations, where you want to grow, and then what are the results. And so and then holding you to that. So it's a masterclass. You get it from 2 experts.
Yeah.
Not normal. Not normal. You don't know what our hourly rate is. Not $97.
and this is the best time to do it at the beginning of the year. Get it right. This is time to get it right. Start with the right foundation. Get it right. We can't wait to meet you in the class. We have so much to share with you. So
absolutely.
If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. Don't just say, oh, this is not clear. Just reach out to us. We'll answer those questions. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we actually have reached out almost 6 minutes left. Okay. If you have questions for us about Cobbletree, we'll open it up right now. You can ask those questions. Cobbletree, we have so much to offer. I mean, if nothing else, the relationships, the resources, this is going to give you leverage in 2024. We are ready to take it to the next level. And you see, when I say we, I'm not even referring to just the 2 of us. I'm talking about us coming together and collaborating, the power of collaboration, the power of leveraging on each other. And like we said, we're kingdom-minded people. I mean, like 100x this year. I want you to just type in the comments, say 100x for me this year. And we're going to share more about what the mysteries of the kingdom that God has revealed to us, about how God is going to scale our businesses, and it's going to require us coming together as one and sharing what we have access to so that we can have that extra leverage. So thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. It's always a pleasure. We're going to be coming back again very soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right.
Hi, I'm Lena Mendoza. I'm an executive coach and business strategist. And I'm really excited because my friend Addie and I, as we cultivate our connection over the last few years, we found out that we had a lot of the same entrepreneurial journey and also the mindset. And then we asked ourselves, like, how much of this information is out there that do people even know, right? They only see all the glory, but they don't see the story that happened before. They don't see the test before the testimony, right? And so what is the success and the setbacks that are involved with being an entrepreneur? And let's be honest, what are some of the failures? So we're going to be raw and real. We're going to bring that to you in a weekly LinkedIn audio event. And we'd love for you to be our guest. And you know what? We would love for you to share that. So come and join us. Let us hear and let's share some nuggets with you in the Success and Setback LinkedIn audio series.